Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely, and shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out from RT.com as of July the 26th, 2023, the business news category. And it reads, Yuan squeezing out dollar in Chinese bilateral trade. And keep this in mind too, as we continue to see the nations been turning away from the American dollar, ditching the American dollar. And as we see nations are potentially in the processing to join the BRICS, the BRICS nations that formed in 2014, as I believe they come with I believe it's a summit, a summit meeting, a BRICS summit meeting that they're gonna have next month to announce the golden currency to overthrow the American dollar. As we've been continuing to see the American dollar been up and down, and then as being taken away as a top spot, as a top global currency reserve, which is the other nations used to depend on. And we definitely been seeing that increasingly in the year 2023. So, I just want to add an additional note to that. But I'm going to continue on with the reading. It says the renminbi was used in 49% of Beijing's international settlements last quarter. Figures have shown the yuan surpassed the US dollar to becoming the most used currency in China's overall cross-border transaction. From April to June, the Nikkei report this week citing statistical data from the Chinese State Administration of Foreign Exchange. According to the outlet's analysts of the data, the increased use of the renminbi, if I pronounced that right, was driven by the opening of the capital market and more trade with Russia. Statistics show that the yuan was used 49% of China's cross-border transactions last quarter, topping the greenback for the first time. The yuan denominating the international payment grew 11% on the year to $1.51 trillion, while trillion payments declined 14% to 1.4 trillion. Officials' data show that the cross-border settlement in the Chinese currency totaled 42.1 trillion yuan, which is 500.85 trillion in 2022. Capital transactions count for over 4 trillion, or about 75% of the current account transaction, such as trading, making up the rest. Although the share of the yuan in global settlement is still relatively low, it has been steady on a rise over the past several years due to Beijing's efforts to promote the use of its currency. The Chinese government first allowed trade payments to be settled in yuan in 2009, including settlements for freight service and current account transfer, as well as the capital transaction settlements. So you're going to read all the rest of that.
What I'm comforted about is I think those four guys specifically are competitors that want to win in the worst way and want to be the best version of themselves.
Matter of fact, bring up that Jeremiah. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, the reason why I brought that out because the nations been depending on the American dollar currency as a top global currency reserve, which is backed by the greenback dollar. Now we're starting to see the American dollar been at a low, at an all-time high within the first time in 25 years when that report came out like a month or two ago. Well, like a month and a half ago. And we definitely been seeing increasing signs of the decline of the American dollar, and the nation's been turning away from it. So the nations are not hip to the westernization of economics no more. So yeah. Yeah. So like after 1 o'clock, after 1 or 2 o'clock,
One or two.
yeah, that's when we're going out there to pay the bills and stuff.
All that down a little bit.
Yeah, because the money haven't got on there yet.
I thought y'all wait till it died down, then y'all find the
No, then we gotta wait till the money come on there.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, when the money comes, I wait till it died down.
Yeah, because I think Maine said it won't stop till like 12 o'clock around that time. Yeah. Right, so the reason why I brought out the Jeremiah 51:7 because, as I mentioned again, as we continue to see the American dollar on the decline now, some more than ever, even though at times where it had bounced back, definitely for sure. But as far as the nation's been turning away from the American dollar, as we see the other nations forming up an economic alliance with other different nations from different countries around the world, which these other nations that used to be economic partners with the United States, as they used to trust the American dollar as a top global currency reserve, as we see it on the decline now, so more than ever. So, I just want to add an additional note to that. But continuing on, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 to verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen, and the score howl for her, take bond for her pain, if so she may be healed. Right? So, Babylon is on the decline economic wise and many other different category wise. But this is the main focus on the economic side. As we see, the Chinese yuan is overthrow the American dollar of usage as a top global currency as it overtakes it from the statistics from April to June as I was reading through the news article. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 9, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsaken her, let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgments reach unto heavens, and it lifted up even to the sky. So with that, this was just a sit-down lesson that I wanted to bring out of this recent news article. As it says, as of July the 26th, 2023, from the business news category, the economic category, from RT.com, as it says again, the yuan squeezing out the dollar in a China's bilateral trade. And so with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Like I mentioned again, I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Karkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.